Hey, it's Blastzone Mike, and I haven't done this in a long time. And me and Jim go way back. If you go back to my Facebook, you can find Blastzone Mike, Mike Wilkerson, whatever you want. You can see a lot of our stuff we did over the past, 3 years, probably?
Going on 4.
4 years, 4 years.
Yeah, because I'd say about 4 years. Yeah, it's been a while since you and I have talked, but yeah, so it started about 4 years ago when I was trying to bring you into the fold about all the Luciferian controlled New World Order bullcrap and the round earth and all that stuff. Yeah. And guess what? It's still going.
And, I've been watching a lot of your videos when you do them, because you keep on getting knocked off Facebook like about every other month, don't you?
No, I know. There's certain keywords, those AI, the algorithms. Yeah. So I try to, but it is what it is, right? I mean, it's just, the truth shall not be heard.
Jim has been in jail more than most people in real life.
Yeah. I'm a reoffender parolee, 30-day violation and a 60-day violation. Oh yeah.
Man, when I was doing my Facebook Lives every day, man, I got put in jail like a couple times for no reason. And I thought my world was going to end. It was like, oh my God, how am I going to go live? How am I going to do anything? And just in 5 years, it'll be 5 years in January, I did Facebook Lives. And in that time, look how much has been established. Now we have Zoom, we have like Stockyard or StreamYard. We have so many different outlets to get the message or whatever your message is out. And, it brings me to everybody. If you don't know who this is Jim Foster. Jim Foster used to be a dancer for a boy band back in the day. Right?
Back in the 90s.
Color Me Bad. If you all don't know who that is, they'll probably be on tour next year because everybody's going to be out trying to make some money after the pandemic. Right. Are you going to go back to being a boy band dancer if Color Me Bad comes back?
Well, see, I haven't talked, if they hit me up, of course I would, because I want to relive my 20s. Are you kidding me? They were so much fun.
You still look like you're about 25, so I guess that would count,
Thank you. It's that, I'm being for real on this. Let me tell you guys the secret to staying looking young. And my grandmother told me this when I was a teenager. It's all about optimism and being happy inside. And as corny as that sounds, it is really, really true.
Are you really that happy a guy all the time?
Am I what? Oh, yeah, I sure am. Yeah. Because here's the deal. Never let them see you sweat. Never let them get you down. And like that old song, and Andy, the sun will come up tomorrow, right? But don't get me wrong. Listen, don't get me wrong. Everybody has their days, right? I mean, we have our days. But 99% of the time, 95% of the time, I'm always seeing the best of what can happen, because that's what Satan wants everybody to do, is not see the best, be depressed, be mean, and not give out good energy, right? We're all on a vibrational frequency. It's how the universe, this world, this earth is set up. Vibration, frequency, and resonance.
Well, let's go back a little ways, okay? We already talked about Color Me Bad. That was kind of just a joke to let people know that,
I'd go back.
You're still a pretty boy and all that kind of stuff, I've seen the pictures, so, don't lie, okay? So anyway.
Yeah, you blocked me one time because I was sending you too many.
I know, man. It was like, God, he's just like texting me too much crap, Anyway, okay, so let's go back, okay? So it was really a hard time for me back before the pandemic. And I think you knew I was going through some of this because I was a total Trump supporter going into the election. And I had friends jumping off, just like, if you're a Trump supporter, then we can't be associated with you. If you're a Trump supporter, then you're full of shit and we're right as far as the Democrats and the people on the other side. But hold on a minute. Let me tell you. Yeah. So, it really took to heart to this, it's like, these are friends that I've been friends for so long. And I've never been in a situation, I turn 50 next year, never been in a situation where people took sides. You know what I mean? It was like, if you weren't this way, then fuck you. If you were this way, then fuck you. It's like, either way you looked at it, you were fucked. Because it was like,
right.
You couldn't be in the middle. There's no middle. It was no like, okay, well, I support Trump because this, but I support Biden for this. There's no in the middle. And then if you have a different view than what Trump had, then the supporters of Trump would look at you and go, well, why do you believe that way when you're a Trump supporter? So my question for you is this: how did you survive? Because you didn't like either one of them.
So let me tell you two things. First thing is, if you lost them because of that BS, they're not really friends. Okay, so that it's not you, it's them. Okay, understand that. And so so to answer your question about both sides, here's and people need to listen to this that watch this. It doesn't matter. This is how I survived. This is how I survived it. And is that you have to understand that the Republican Democrat is down here. If people don't see this now, they will never see it. But Republican Democrats, for us little sheep down here to think we have a choice. How I survived this, and I was by opening people's eyes, I would think, because there's a couple of people that were hard left. And they softened up a little bit, because I'm like, hey, I don't believe any of the bull crap, because this is what we call a globalist agenda. Okay, Obama, Bush, the Bushes, Obama, Clinton's, Pelosi, Boehner, all of them. It is the Democrat Republican globalist agenda is up here. So the globalist agenda keeps moving forward while we're down here talking bullshit and fighting with each other over these little puppets. When up here is where everything is taking place, and they're getting everything done because we're all distracted. So I don't know if I survived it per se. I mean, I did, but I think I did it by telling people, hey, it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat. It doesn't matter. Your choice does not matter. Presidents are not elected. They are selected.
And I agree with that. I mean, I totally agree with that, because, I'm going to go back a little ways. Okay. You remember Jesse Ventura's show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I don't know if you've seen the episode, but he showed an episode of time travel.
Of which one?
Time travel, that you could time travel to the past and the future.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I saw that one, but yeah.
It was Oliver Stone's son was with him on it. Oliver Stone's son is a big supporter of that. And they showed a picture of Obama in the 1800s. And they were talking about how Obama was next in line to be president because he was placed there by, the Illuminati, whoever it is, the Illuminati everybody talks about all the time, which, I mean, I'm not going to just say they're not real, because I really don't know.
No, they're real.
I have no clue if they're real or not.
Documented. They were, let me tell you, they are real. They started in the 1700s. It's all documented. Yeah, but continue.
So, like Jesse Ventura, they said when he became governor, they took him to a dark place with a mask on him and said, how'd you become elected? He goes, the people elected me. And they're like, no, we elect all the people. And it sat with me, like, in that time, it was like, okay, even though we're voting for Trump and we know Trump should win, we already know Biden's going to win, because he's the one that the Illuminati or the people that rule the world want it, because it's going to that one world order. You know, and this is what gets me about people, okay?
That's that globalist agenda way up here.
And this is what gets me about people, okay? And I can't say that I don't use some of the same things, okay? But if you get free medical insurance, you get Social Security, like SSI, not Social Security you earn because you worked. If you get food stamps, if you get FDIC, if you get anything, that means the government's taking care of you, okay? To a point, maybe the government may be taking care of a lot of people I know. But if you ask a person, no, the government ain't taking care of me. Well, if you get free this or free that, then the government's taking care of you. So you're going to a country where the government can rule you because they take care of you. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah, okay. Now we're back.
Okay,
so
cool.
The government's taking care of you.
And people don't admit to that. People don't understand that. They don't go, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I do get SSI, or I get food stamps, or I get this. It's like they don't believe that. They don't believe that. Even if they were a Trump supporter. They don't believe it. They don't. I mean, and why is that? Is that because we go back to the movie They Live, and it's like people are so brainwashed?
Bingo. And brainwashing is a very overused term. It's a subtle brainwashing that happens over your kid. That the Jesuits said, "Give me a child till he's 7, I'll show you the man." Okay, do you think they just said that because it's not true? So that's why they've infiltrated the school system. That's why you see a globe from, doesn't matter what country you live in, United States, Iran, Iraq, Russia, Japan, China, doesn't matter. There's always a globe in every classroom. Why is it that we have to get along on that in every station of life when we're children? Because they have an agenda. Now, so it's subtle brainwashing. They inculcate you, and then they instill this picture. That's the same way with SSI and all this stuff. You grow up getting it, and you expect it, and you don't realize what's going on. Now, let me share something with you about, and I wouldn't say I lost a couple of friends, but I had a couple people get really mad at me when I said this. And let me tell you, a friend of mine who is a leftist mentioned this to me one night, and this is a while back, and I took pause. I was like, what? And here's what he said. He goes, and this came from a leftist, progressive, Democrat, Hillary Clinton loving guy. And then he said it, and I was like, and it took me, I think it was the next day or the day after, I started really thinking about it. Here's what he said. He goes, did you ever notice that you lose most of your freedoms with a Republican president? Now let that sink in, right? What's your reaction, right? A little like,
yeah.
Okay, so that's exactly what I did. So I said, what are you talking about? He said it just a couple of small things. He didn't have the whole thing. That I started looking into it and started to remember what happened. I go, oh, and then come to find out, you know where I ended up? He's exactly right. And why is he exactly right? And I'll tell you all the examples I have, and you're going to go, oh my gosh, Jim, you are right. Because if the things that were done to us under a Republican president, under a Democrat president, the Bubba effect, people would have rose up and said, hell no. Are you ready for this? So we've got the gold standard under Nixon. Okay, he took us off the gold standard. That allowed the governments to start writing checks. That's where we are today. Print. That was Nixon. Then he got impeached, and Gerald Ford was in. He really didn't do much. What happened after Gerald Ford? Jimmy Carter was in. Jimmy Carter, Democrat, really didn't do much. Everybody didn't like him. Everything sucked. Iran, all that stuff, right? Peanut Man. Then Ronald Reagan gets office. I'm 52. I grew up in the 80s. Decade of positiveness. Everybody was happy. I loved Reagan. Well, guess what Reagan did? And you don't notice it when they're in office because it's a slow drip. They do this on purpose. Everything has been planned. Everything has been planned, guys. So Ronald Reagan gets in office. What does he do? He makes it. You ready for this? He makes it so in 1986, look it up. He makes it so vaccine companies cannot be sued. How important is that today?
True, yeah.
What else did he do? War on drugs. The war on drugs was the biggest sham ever. There is no war on drugs. There's too much money in it. But it sure put a lot of our black brothers, Mexican brothers, white brothers in prison. That's where the three strikes rule law came out of California, out of 86, out of that. So Reagan did that.
Don't forget Brady Bill.
Huh?
The Brady Bill too happened in 86.
That's exactly right.
Which was huge. That was a huge thing too.
How many freedoms were gone? This thing with the vaccine, not being able to sue them. What kind? That's crazy. So anyway, Reagan did that. George Bush gets in office. He didn't do much, but I have something on him later. Then Clinton gets in office. Clinton, he budgeted the balanced the budget. He didn't do really anything. He had his little thing sucked, but he was a populist. He didn't really do much anything. Then guess who gets in office? George Bush W. Jr., right? What happens under W? Patriot Act. What freedoms were taken in? We got National Defense Authorization Act. They're doing warrantless searches, wiretaps. Then we got NSA, TSA, right? Jade Helm. All of this under George Bush because of 9/11. And what was it? Reagan didn't have anything a crisis that he needed. But when George Bush got in office and 9/11 happened, which was planned, Muslims had nothing to do with 9/11. It's called the Hegelian dialectic. It's called problem, reaction, solution. What that means is the government has somewhere they want to go, right? How do we get there? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to cause a crisis. Then that's going to cause the populace to rise up and go, we need help.
Let me ask you a question. You know, I remember when 9/11 happened, okay? The first building that come down, I went to see my bosses because I was leaving Michigan, and they're all standing by the TV. I thought there was an alien attack, okay? But let's back up. How do we actually have footage of the first tower going down if nobody knew it was going to happen? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about that? I mean, think about that for a minute.
Listen, I was 31 when 9/11 happened, 32 when 9/11 happened, and it took me 4 months to figure out it was an inside job. Building 7 falls, free falls. Nothing hit Building 7, right? The Pentagon, there's no planes out there. Pennsylvania, let's roll. That was all contrived too. There's no plane in Pennsylvania. So Republican president, we lose all your freedoms, right? It's starting to make sense. So now then what happened to Bush on the way out? He was the most unluckiest president ever to live because he had 9/11, then he had the financial crash on his way out. What happened under financial crash? To the Financial Reform Act, Frank Dodd Act, took all our banking sovereignty rights away, took it to where now they can look at your account with $600 in it. That started under the Financial Reform Act. That's under Bush. Freedoms. Then what happened? I'm coming to a big one now. Trump's coming up. Now, what happened to Obama? Obama got in office. He had one kind of major thing, but it didn't take a lot of freedoms away that you would notice immediately. Like, bam, it was healthcare. Okay, there's a lot of stuff on the
Obamacare.
Okay, but that is the healthcare. That's not really your freedoms about banking, your freedoms about going places, warrantless wiretaps, all that stuff. That was nothing like that. That was Bush. Then Trump, our savior, gets in office. Are you kidding me? What did he do? He shut down America. He said, you cannot go to work. You've got to wear a mask. You're going to get a vaccine, warp speed, all these freedoms under Trump. Okay, I've made my case. You lose most of your freedoms under a Republican. And why is that?
And he, I don't know what to say about him. But see, at that point though, Jim, we had no choice. It was either Hillary Clinton or him.
Well, but hey, it doesn't matter who was in office. You see, that's the problem.
But Hillary Clinton would have been a lot worse than him.
No, what bullshit? What I'm going to respectfully disagree with here, Mike, because what would she have done? Shut down America? Don't wear a mask? Stay at home? Everybody lose their job? They are the same coin, just different sides. He's in the cabal. They're all in the cabal. Every one of them is a Luciferian-controlled New World Order elite. Every one of them, with their marching orders out of Rome and Europe, the Jesuit order. All of them. We got 13 bloodlines, man. We got 13 bloodlines that started way back when Cain killed Abel. Okay, this is the Cain bloodline that we're dealing with today. And then Adam and Eve had Seth. That's Jesus's bloodline. Okay, so all of Cain's descendants is what we're dealing with now. All of these crazy devil worshiping Satans.
What about the fact that, when we look at it, when Trump and Biden were fighting against each other, the one thing that all of us as Republicans were feared was that his vice president would become president, which was not true, because if he was to leave office, she would be president, and then Nancy Pelosi would be vice president. Okay, so we were all feared of that, but we're how many months into the year, and none of that's happened. And we ain't even seen Kamala. Where's Kamala at? She's nowhere to be found.
No, that's what I mean. Mike, everybody is being played. United States, the Americans, we're stupid. We think we actually think they're on our side, but they're not. Zero, none of them. They're Rand Paul, maybe, I guess. But who knows with these folks, man? You just never know. If they're in Washington, you know how Washington's laid out? It's by a pentagram. Everything has to do with Satan. Everything that we're doing today. And I lose a lot of my agnostic and atheist friends when I bring up Satan and God, but I always tell them, I said, listen, you have to listen to what I'm saying. Do not think that because I believe in God and Satan and you don't, that it has anything to do with where we're going, because it doesn't matter what you believe, Mr. Agnostic or Mr. Atheist. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what you believe. Why? Because we're on their crazy train. They're steering this crazy train. We can't do anything, but it doesn't matter what we believe. It doesn't matter one bit. It matters what they believe. They believe in that higher power. That higher power is Lucifer. They think he's the one that he thinks he's the one that needs to be in charge and not Yahweh. Right? So it doesn't matter.
I agree with you to a point, because, you know, in history, if you look at how things are laid out, okay? Mm-hmm. You know me for about 4 years. You know some of the things I've done, like
totally.
And this kind of goes away from that, but it makes sense in a way, because like Elvis Presley, okay, died in 1977, supposedly. But you know
that night they did his funeral. I remember that night like it was yesterday. I was 8 years old.
Do you know that they had all of his albums laid out until like 1983 or 4? Everything that he was going to do, that train had already decided this is what he was going to do. It was laid out. You know what I mean? So I understand the point of laying things out. So when Biden leaves office, it's already laid out. The next president's going to make it look like we're going to explode into this new money everywhere. Things are going to be great. Christmas is going to be great, because we're so down and low because of the whole COVID thing that
but
somebody's got to try to pick us back up. You know?
No, but see, here's the thing, Mike. You're right on the money. But what they're doing is they're crashing the dollar. Do you understand that?
I seen that today. I seen the day that the dollar is worth crap almost.
No, right, and that they're doing it on purpose. They're getting rid of this. This is gone. They're going to a digital currency. Why are they going to a digital currency? A digital dollar, to get you under control. That's what this thing right here. You get this in your arm. You know what it does to your body? It changes who you are. But besides that, why are they doing this? It's about control. They need to control everything, because if you get rid of this, if I can't give you this $5 bill for whatever services you gave me, but I have to send it through a computer, they're going to know exactly what everything's going on. That gives them so much power when this is gone, right? Digital dollar. It's called the one world government moving to a one world religion. The one world government is all about control. And the most important thing is, what do they want from you? Your soul. That's what this whole battle is about. It's about getting what God, Yahweh, gave us when we came down here. And Lucifer, Satan, Beelzebub, has been doing everything against that. That's why it's getting so bad. So that's what this thing right here, the thing you have to wear over your face, all these are occult rituals. Everything is tied together. If you look into the gematria of everything, okay, the numbers and the symbols, okay, let me give you something. Something's going to happen this month, maybe in Colorado or something. Since I've known you, I've gotten back into gematria and understanding the symbols. I already knew the symbols of the New World Order and all that. But like the Church of Satan was formed April 30th, 1966. Mm-hmm. April 30th, 1966. Do you know it's the 666th month this month of that church? And did you also hear Joe Biden? I don't care if it takes 6 hours, 6 days, or 6 weeks. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah. 666.
Okay. These are guys, people that are going to watch this. These are all Satanists. And you got to realize that they're not on our side, Republican or Democrat.
So in the thick of it and the thin of it, I guess, how does it, for me, it got back to the same thing as with the president, because I'm a total non-vaxxer. I'm a total non-vaxxer.
So Trump brought that in. Now you got a mandate. Now we got somebody else in office that's on the same. Now you got to get it. You got to get this thing here, or you can't work. Does that sound like freedom to you? Mm-hmm. Trump did that. Biden is just picking up where he left off, man. They're all the same. So continue. Sorry. I want to drill that into your head, and whoever's listening, folks, get off the fucking Republican, Democrat tits.
And, you know, as a non-vaxxer, you know, I got the same thing as with the president, you know, Republican president. It was like, oh, you're a non-vaxxer? Well, you know, you're going to get COVID. You know, I'll give you an example. My mother-in-law was told by her doctor, you're going to die if you don't get the vaccine. Well, what'd she do? She goes behind her back, she gets the vaccine. We told her, we're like, listen, you're going to hurt. It's going to be bad. And it was pretty bad for her for the first one. The second one she got was even worse. Luckily, she's feeling a lot better now. But you know what? I personally seen it, okay? I personally seen it with my own eyes. A woman
My
take a
dad
magnet,
died of COVID.
put a magnet to her arm, and it was stuck there because it's magnetic wherever it is. And some people don't have it, but there's other people that do.
No, let me tell you what it is. Hey, I want can I text? I'm going to send you what it is, and you need to watch these videos, bro. Okay, it's called graphene oxide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, graphene oxide. It is malleable. It is connectable. Frequency wise, they can send messages. There's no vaccine. There's no V in that. It's more of an inoculation. It is not for your health, man. It is this whole thing has been this whole thing. This thing has been the biggest sham ever to get everybody under control. And they're going to flip a switch. They're going to flip a trigger, something, and they're going to activate all that stuff. And those people that have that thing, they're either they're going to turn into something, or something's going to happen. It's on its way.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, man. And you know, we're just the guinea pigs in the whole thing.
Yep, and that's why it's important for everybody to get this Republican Democrat out of your fucking mouth. Wake up to the fact that it is a globalist agenda. You need to start looking at it like that with these people way up here, and understand that that's who we're dealing with. And ultimately, Satan at the very top of that. Then we have the Jesuit order, and then we have the 13 bloodlines. I mean, I've been researching this stuff since 9/11, man.
And you know, as we go along with this over the weeks that we do this, I want to go in more detail. We're kind of giving people a lot of stuff at one time right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I really want to go piece by piece by piece with this. You know, so you know,
what we can do on this one, we can just kind of throw all the subjects out, and then we'll just do a topic one night, and then we'll do another topic.
Exactly. You know, because you know, I used to be, you know, there couldn't be no flat Earth, but I'm to the point where I just don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just don't care. I mean, I'm going to be 50 next year. I'm still going to be here. It ain't like I'm going to fall off the side of it tomorrow, or you know.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's not going to be like the new show La Brea where the whole thing sinks in and you're in something BC. You know what I mean? I mean, it's, you know, but we live in a world where tomorrow we don't know what the hell's going to happen. We really don't. I mean, we can wake up tomorrow and the dollar be worth like 20 cents. I mean,
well, no, but here's the thing. So, but what does that mean? What does that mean, Mike? That means that you have to prepare mentally, physically, and monetarily somehow. Extra food, water, whatever it is, because they're telling us what they're going to do. This is no secret anymore, like it used to be. I've been screaming this New World Order crap since 2002, and of course, I was a little early to the game. I was a little early to the dance. Right?
Well, I got to tell you, one of my favorite videos you ever did. Okay, and we're running out of time for this session, so
let's wrap it up. We'll do it next week.
But the funniest thing I ever seen you do was when you were in the Walmart and you were like going, the lines were there.
Walmart.
You're like, we're nothing but a bunch of herd of fucking cattle. Can you not understand this, you sheep? And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to get kicked off Facebook. I know he is.
Oh, I know, dude. It's aggravating to see people wearing this thing, because this does nothing. Scientifically proven, this does zero for you. Here's an analogy. To wear this to stop if we believe what viruses are, and I don't, because I know what they are, but believe what they say, right? To stop a virus with this thing, it's like trying to stop a mosquito with a chain link fence. It doesn't happen, right?
Yeah. Well, one last thing, we did have somebody send a message to us when I put up that you were going to be on, and they were talking about the Alec Baldwin thing. And
what?
The Alec Baldwin thing where he shot the girl and the girl died.
Yeah.
Okay, it goes back to the same thing that happened to Brandon Lee on the set of The Crow. The same thing happened to, well, I don't know much about his dad, but I know Brandon Lee got shot like that, and there was no answers. For somebody that wants to blame Alec Baldwin for killing this person, it's completely out of their mind. It ain't like Alec Baldwin. It ain't like Alec Baldwin picked up his pistol and said, "I'm going to shoot this person." He was handed the gun. He was handed the gun, and it was on the set. And there's a lot more people to blame than Alec Baldwin for what happened.
Well, here's the thing. I've been in films before. I've lived in Hollywood for 12 years. There is always safety on the set. Safety first.
Exactly.
Being an actor, I would have checked the gun personally, right? So he didn't do that. That's fine. Or maybe he's in it. To blame Alec Baldwin. I mean, he has some culpability just because as an actor, if somebody hands me a gun on a set, I'm opening that motherfucker up and I'm looking first. Because this is my life. And here's the other thing with CGI and everything, they don't need to point it straight at the people anymore either.
No,
there's no reason for that. They can do cutaways and all kinds of stuff. So here's my thought on that. We'll wrap this up. Is I think it was some type of ritual sacrifice on a certain date, and I haven't dug into it yet. But hopefully by
that's for another date, right?
Huh?
That's for another day.
Date, the time, where it was, what parallel or what latitude it was on. Yeah. So don't think let me give you three things real quick. Lesser magic, chaos magic, and manifestation magic. Those are the three that the cultists use. And we'll get into it next time, okay?
And the manifestation is really wild because you can manifest shit. Because I remember when my brother died, I manifested a lot of illness on me because I was in a dark place. And that shit really is true, you know? Yep. Over in Ireland, they manifest demons, and they manifest like the little neums or whatever they call them. They're like evil creatures, they say, that do mischief. I mean, there's a lot of that shit going on, and black magic and all that's in the world.
It is all real, bro. It's real. That goes back to how we open this up. Positiveness inside. Don't let negative in if you can. You'll live longer. You know. So we're gonna name the show for everybody. Please come back. It's gonna be called Fact, Fiction, or Make Believe, and you all can make your own opinion. And we want you all to send us messages. We want you to tell us everything that you wanted us to talk about. There's a million of you that can watch this, and hopefully it gets out there and becomes viral where everybody can watch it and see it. And I want to thank Jim, because Jim is awesome. Thank you, and you're welcome.
Me and Jim, I mean, it's awesome. So anyway, this is the first episode of Fact, Fiction, or Make Believe, and I hope that you all like it, and we will be back again on Thursday. This will come out at 12 p.m. and you all will get it uncut, uncensored, everything. So,
and then we'll do this next. You want to do this next Wednesday?
Yes, do it again. Okay. And what we're going to do is let's talk about flat Earth next time. I know it'll end up in a bunch of other stuff, but I mean,
yeah. Okay, brother.